I had just arrived once again at the Undead Asylum. Somehow I managed to mess that up. When we go back and fully... you know what? Never mind. I think we'll be okay. I don't think I'll need that many Estus Flasks. This boss fight that's coming up isn't the kind of battle where you want to stop and heal. Can I do that and get away with it? Nope. I thought I could.
You're an idiot.
Alright, now this fight usually isn't attempted until later in the game. Simply because the amount of damage I'll receive from any one of the attacks is pretty damaging. That and it can be a little bit difficult to dodge the attacks and stop from getting hit. But once you get comfortable with the range, the radius of this stray demon's attacks, the fight becomes pretty easy. It mainly just becomes staying, you know, slightly to the right or behind the enemy. And not to get too greedy with your hits. About 1 to 3 hits is all you're going to manage before you come across an attack you have to dodge. So, even with something like the Drake's Sword, this fight is still going to take me a while. And that's fine, that's perfectly normal. I have actually died because I got stuck on that tail sometimes. And if I'm not mistaken, this stray demon is actually larger than the first one we encountered. I think. I've never actually done a size comparison, but I'm pretty sure he's bigger. But staying close to this demon and staying roughly behind him when dueling your attacks makes it so he won't use any of his large swipe attacks. At least that, not that I've seen. Oh. As you can see, we're already over halfway done. And strangely enough, once you get into the motion of fighting this boss, he's probably the second easiest boss. Well, probably the third easiest boss, next to the Taurus demon and the very first stray demon you fight. But his attacks are a lot more damaging. That attack by itself right there would probably cost me most of my health bar, if not the entire thing. Yep, that was close. And as you can tell, I highly recommend not using lock-on for this battle. That was close. That way you're a little bit more mobile, and you can more quickly choose the direction you want to go in. That was close. Trying to end this battle as quickly as possible, simply because all it really does take is one mistake. And this, when he leaps back like that, that's when, oh, just like that. That's when things can go very, very wrong. And there we go. That was a little bit of a nail biter at the end there. if you don't run towards him very quickly after you defeat him, he's going to start using the swipe attacks with that fiery explosion. And we get a slab for our troubles. And if I'm not mistaken, the slabs are the highest level of ore available in the game, so they're extremely rare. Very, very useful. And we'll probably use that one for an armor set or two. I don't feel confident enough taking on any of the knights. Not without more Estus flasks. But we're going to come back and take those guys out. Oh, he got me. Didn't think he'd be able to get me. Well, that's my own fault, I guess. I really don't want to lose that number of souls, so let's make sure we go back there and get them. But as I said before, most people, you're not really supposed to go to this area this early in the game. So a lot of the enemies we're fighting here are of a much higher caliber, much higher level and difficulty level than we should be facing. I would say probably the level you're supposed to face these guys on is probably sometime after Anor Londo. Because the knights you face here are pretty much of the same caliber almost. They take reduced damage to the Black Knights I faced previously. Oh. Oh, we got a chunk. That's nice. Oh, and they give out 1,200 souls. That's quite a bit. Now, this item is needed to access a whole nother area of the game. And I'll go over that after I get through Anor Londo. Or before. I might do a playthrough of it as we're going through Anor Londo. And split up Anor Londo into 2 parts. Because it's a pretty huge place. Doing a video of the Outer Sanctum, the bridge, and the church will probably be what I end up doing, but I haven't decided yet. But I know for sure I'm going to break it up into segments. That way you're not watching like a 2-hour YouTube video of just me, some dude. See, kids, that's what poise looks like. That's not a bad magic defense shield. That's not what we want to go for. I think a 2-mid's fine. Put one in endurance. And, yeah, I think that looks good. We'll need to start putting more into intelligence pretty soon. I want to try and get that up to 30 by the time we get to Anne Orlando. At least try. But putting a few more points into strength and dexterity isn't a bad idea, but I won't really need that much more for a single playthrough. Should be another knight right here. Yep. Hello. Gonna want to fight him out here. That way we've got a lot more room to maneuver. What the? That's exactly what I wanted to avoid. There we go. And there we go, getting a Black Knight sword, which is definitely an upgrade from the Drake sword, but I'm pretty sure I don't have the stats for it yet. It's going to need 2080. Now it looks like it's just a 20% increase, but unlike the Drake sword, I benefit from parameter bonuses from strength and dexterity, which is going to give me even more additional attack power. Now it's slower than the Drake sword, of course, but it's going to have much longer reach, and that's worth its weight in gold in later parts of the game when you're dealing with large amounts of multiple enemies. Especially in Blighttown when you're going to want to have a longer reach. This is a section of the Asylum we can access before. And all it does is it allows you to get the Rusted Iron Ring, which is pretty useful. We're going to be using this to help us get through some of the areas. Like, it'll be pretty useful when we're in Blighttown, when we're in the swamp area of Blighttown, and alright, that should be about it. I don't think there's anything else. Now there is something I can do with the invisible bird lady that's off to our right here. But I'm going to consort the wiki and look at the few things that I need. The few items that I actually think are pretty useful to get. But for the most part, that's it for this place. We're going to go back to Firelink Shrine, and we're going to start making our way through the traditional path to get to Blighttown. I have a certain key that allows me to get straight towards Blighttown and to avoid the depth.